you can see here on this example, I've gotten everything folded, and I've also got these pieces in here. And I've labeled each one of them. Plus there is a bottom piece and a back piece. Now, I was thinking about this. Two things I wanted to say. Number one of the reasons why I don't give you any measurements is because at will you can make these pieces larger or smaller when you print them. You can make them much larger or much smaller. It's up to you. So I'm giving you methods for doing things without measuring as a way to combat that, you know. So if you want to make this twice the size, you use the same method. You just don't have to necessarily measure anything. Now, I'm going to remove these pieces here. And you can see that I've drawn some lines. Just a few lines in here. There's one here in the red that you can barely see. And the reason for this is because I'm not doing any measuring. And I'm going to show you how I did this. So let's get rid of that right there. And let's bring over our other piece that we're using. I'm going to bend these backwards just a little bit so you can see these with a greater ease. Now, if we look at these two side by side, you can tell I've done some drawing of lines. What I've done is, this is the foam core, the paper covered foam board that I'm going to be using. I know that this is approximately 5 millimeters. Yeah, it's about 5, little skosh less than 5 millimeters thick. About 4.5 millimeters. I don't need you to measure any of that. That's going to make you just a little not happy. So what we're going to do is, because I know that I want a full piece here and a full piece here, meaning, let's grab these two pieces. If I put this here, it extends from this fold to this fold, and this one extends from this fold to this fold, and almost all the way to the edges. I've given it a little, like half a millimeter. Now, you're wondering, why is there a gap here? Because when this is folded down, this will go right here. So you can see where these come together like that. And now you can kind of imagine what that's going to look like. So to make these lines, again, super duper easy. Get my pencil. I prefer using a, I think this is a 0.9. I just like using something that's going to be a little bit lighter. I have gone through and made sure that all of these are as straight as I can make them for the tools that I have. Meaning I used a triangle and made sure that everything was as square as it could be. And again, this isn't rocket science. Now, the first one I'm going to do is this top one. And what I do is, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to put the lines in first. Sorry, got ahead of myself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to put the edge right on top, right next to the fold. Okay. And then I'm going to take my pencil and go all the way across. So you can see that line. Now, I'm going to need to do that on the bottom as well. So let's turn it around. And for the bottom, you can decide if you want to have a little bit more space here or not. I usually run it up to about 1 millimeter from the bottom just to give myself a little wiggle room. I'm going to move that up just a teensy bit. There. And take my pencil, draw my line. I didn't feel like they made good contact there. So there's my line there. So I know on this other side, on this side, there's going to be a width of the board. Now on these two sides, I'm going to take a piece and put it again right next to the fold, but on this side, and make a line. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, I know this seems like, wouldn't it just be simpler to measure? Well, yeah, but if I give you concrete measurements, that means that you can only make the piece of furniture one size only. If I tell you 1.3 millimeters is as wide as this is and 4.3 millimeters this way, that's as big as it's going to be for this. Yeah, I know you can calculate it going up, but frankly, I would rather, I am a very impatient creator. I kind of prefer this for these little pieces of furniture because it kind of gets you in there and moving quicker. Now, if you use a different kind of board, whether it's a cardboard or a piece of chipboard, whatever kind, chipboard or gray board, you do the same thing. I would just line this up, draw the line, and that way I know exactly where those are going to go. Now, when it comes to actually measuring these and cutting them out, again, I'm not exactly super exact. Here's the fold. Here's the fold right here. I'm going to put this next to the fold. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to make a line right there. So I know I'm going to cut this direction. I'm going to move this up just a tiny bit, but I'm going to move it over till it's almost at the edge, but there's just a tiny little bit poking out. And then I'm going to measure here. So when I take this out of the way, all I need to do and again, one of the reasons I use the really smaller piece. Okay, wait a minute, that doesn't look big enough. Let's see, I got the width right. That does not look quite big enough. It is not big enough. I don't know what I was thinking there. I goofed that up. Someone who has done this a million times, and I can still goof it up. Okay, put this back, put that back. Okay, this is here. Move this over just a skosh. There we go. I did not realize that I had. And part of knowing that that's wrong is having done this a whole bunch of times. Let's see, and if that is, because these are both about the same size. Yeah, I'm double checking with this one. So this is going to be the top piece. And now I can take my blade. I prefer to use this kind of knife. Draw straight, and always make sure you got a nice fresh blade in it, or not a worn down blade, because it'll start to pull and tear on these little bits here. So then here, I know that when this closes, do a dry fit, it's going to fit. And then it's time for the middle section. Okay. I'm going to line that up in the corner here. I want you to pay, oh, let's see, in the corner right here. I'm going to line this up where the fold is, and that line that I drew, that's going to be taken up by this piece right here. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to find this line. There's that line. And then the fold is over here. So let's go in, draw that line. I know I'm putting my thumb down here to keep this. And again, this is not super precise measurements. I'm basically tailoring this piece to fit this exact, as exact as I can. I need some more blade there. Because remember, I didn't use anything mechanical to fold this. and therefore parts of my folds may be crooked. Okay, this one is a little, I may have to, no, there we go. And there we go. I'm dry fitting that in. And now when I bring this one up, I can see how small this side piece needs to be. So what I'm going to do, oh, and the thing that I do as I'm going along, top, front, this is the front, this is the top. Now when it comes to the sides, I'm going to grab a smaller piece here. This is a good time to use your scraps. Remember how I brought this in right here? Put it right up against that, not against the fold, but right against the line. There's that one, and there's that one. And what's nice is, once you get just these 3 pieces cut, you know, that's a little bit too much there. You know what you can do next is, see, there's one of those little bits. What you can do next, let's get rid of that one piece, side, and that's going to go in right there. You can see how it fits on top of that piece right there. Now that I know how big this is, I can just kind of go in and find little scraps and fit, I think I'm going to have to do it on this side, fit and then trace. So I don't have to remeasure. I know that those pieces, oh, I keep doing this and pulling it down closer to myself. You know they're going to fit. Side, side. This method will work whether this is the largest one you've made or you make one even tinier. Now I've got, remember, this is a 6-sided object form, so I'm going to need 2 of these and 2 of these as well. So all I need to do is lay this one down. This is going to be the back. Put that one back over there. And this will be the bottom. So I can put that back. So I've labeled them, and now I just need to cut them out. And again, you know, there are craftspeople out there that do absolutely amazing work, very precise, beautiful work. I am in no way, shape, or form maligning their work. Their work is gorgeous. I also know where I fit in all of this. So now I've got the bottom piece. This piece will go onto the back. And now it's just a matter of, we need to put the piece together now. So I hope this helped. This is one of those things that I started putting together. It's the art teacher in me. I want those who are using my patterns to feel successful. I want you to, if you really want to make this, you can do this. This is not something that is out of the realm of anybody doing this, as long as they take their time and learn how to do it. There's a bit of an instant gratification thing, and I'm the teacher part of me in wanting to build your own personal efficacy with how you put things together, and is more important to me than creating like some timeless thing that's going to end up in a museum or you're going to pass down to your children. This is fun. This is for fun. So in the next part of the video, I'm going to show you how we'll glue all of these pieces together. And I think before that one, I'm gonna take the bottom piece and I'm gonna wrap it I've already chosen some paper here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that so it will be ready to go. And for the legs, remember, I've gone in and already made sure I've got the legs ready to go. So this is going to go together pretty quickly now. This next video, I'll show you how to glue everything together. And then I don't know that I really need to teach you a whole lot about legs because you know how to put them on after the last 3 pieces that you've learned how to do. You know how to do that. But we will be talking about how to make little drawer pulls. So I will see you in the next video.